two, one. Welcome to another installment of the PRSA College of Fellows Voices for the Future. I'm Greg Bailey, APR, fellow PRSA. Joining me today is Debbie Mason, APR, fellow PRSA. Welcome, Debbie. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Greg. I'm glad to be here.
So Debbie is the president of Strategists, Inc. and lives in the Key West area. She's worked in corporate and agency public relations roles. She has served as a president and CEO of foundations and worked in healthcare in a variety of roles, including branding, marketing, communications, strategic planning, and sales. You know, Debbie, what haven't you done? I mean, you've kind of covered the landscape, but I wanted to start with asking you why you chose public relations and communication as a career.
I was always interested in communications, even as a child. I happened to have a next door neighbor when I was growing up in Tarpon Springs who was in public relations, and I enjoyed him and I enjoyed learning from him what that entailed. And I was leaning towards journalism, but I found that I was a great public speaker and I enjoyed honestly, even as a kid, the strategy part of building persuasive campaigns, be they political campaigns in school or something else. And so he said, I really think you need to explore public relations. And I thought, oh, what is that? Tell me more.
And there you were.
And there I was.
So was there a moment for you early in your career where you had that kind of aha moment that said, I'm in the right business. I get this.
Honestly, I would say college. I went to school at the University of Florida. We were the Alpha chapter of PRSA. I was very involved in PRSA. I worked my way through school, so I was really fortunate to have public relations positions even while in college, although as an intern and then as a part-time young professional. And from the moment I took my first public relations class, I just said, I have made the right decision. And, going to UF was wonderful because we had an advisory board that included the legends of public relations. Now, as a student, I didn't realize how important they were, but later as a professional to say, we had Betsy Plank, we had Joe Vecchione, we had Pat Jackson, you name it across the spectrum. And we were lucky enough to have those people mentor us and care about us.
Wonderful. So what was that first public relations class? Like an intro to PR class?
A writing and then an intro to PR, yes.
That's great. You have had so many firsts in your career, hugely successful. In your bio, you do list some favorite projects. So would you talk a little bit about the one that really hit me was the Broward County Welfare Initiative? Would you talk about that and kind of how it impacted your career?
So that initiative in Broward County was around reforming the foster care system. And I was lucky to be a part of what I consider a real movement of activists who wanted a better outcome for children who were placed in the foster care system. A lot of my volunteer board work over the years had been in nonprofits serving that particular mission. And the Broward Child Welfare Initiative basically brought together the existing Department of Children and Families, which was known by something else before that, and the state attorney's office, the juvenile delinquency teams with the sheriff and the police departments, church leaders who did outreach, as well as the established nonprofits and county government. And schools, we literally every walk of life came together and said, we want Broward County to be the first to take this opportunity to privatize foster care and to do it in a way that envisions a much better experience and outcome for the children that are engaged in that system. So over the course of about a year, I got to work with another consultant who specialized nationally in the foster care system. And I was the local consultant to be able to bring people together and to have visioning sessions and strategic planning sessions and to be able to take all of that input and pattern match it, which they teach us in public relations research, and come up with a plan that we submitted to the state of Florida. And we were the first county to be fully funded. And this was in the 90s, and it was $60 million, which was way more than our county had ever had. And we became a template for other counties to follow in terms of process and plan. And Broward County has continued to be a trailblazer, decades since then,
Great.
and what it's done to help foster care children. It was a very, to be able to say, I was able to affect change for generations of children to come.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's most gratifying about what we do.
It
You know,
is.
the media placement's great for that particular client, but when you can really change behavior and create true change, that's super gratifying. So tell me, just thinking about where we are today in our profession, what do you think has changed the most and for the better in public relations?
I see greater levels of awareness of ethics, greater knowledge on employers' part that it is more than publicity and media. And I see a generation, I'm an adjunct professor at UF now, and I see a generation of professionals coming out as graduates that is inspiring to see in terms of their commitment to professionalism already, even as students.
That's terrific. So, I mentioned first a minute ago, and you played a role in the creation of the PRSA College of Fellows. What's your most vivid memory of those sessions?
The people involved and the camaraderie in finding a solution that met the original intention and was still broad enough to not be prescriptive in the level of detail. I know that sounds a bit amorphous, but we wanted to create a structure. We wanted to create an honorary entity, but yet one that could be loose enough to evolve as the profession continued to evolve. And, remember those conversations were going on in the 80s. So we weren't sure what it would look like and what would it evolve to, but we knew the intention was to honor those who had done unique and special and exemplary work for our profession and were committed to the continued evolvement of our profession.
What looking back today, if we could gather those, and there were some legendary people in those room in that around that table, what would they say about today's College of Fellows?
I think they'd be very proud. It's funny. I had a conversation with Joe Epley and with Jerry Dalton years later, and I think they'd be very, very proud of what evolved for the college. And I think they'd be very proud of how stringent we've been on the review process.
Mhm.
And truly holding it to its original intention of it's not an open barn based on your age or years,
Right,
right?
right. Yeah. You were inducted into the College of Fellows in 2005. So, what does it mean to you to be a member of the college?
I I think respect, admiration for my peers. Um, there's so many people in the college that I truly just love, honestly. I grew up in the profession with them. We were peers together, walking at the same time and learning from each other. I love the collegiality of it. I love the professionalism of it. We're all from different walks of life and beliefs and politics, and you know, regions, but yet we come together with a really focused purpose. So, and I love that even if you can't attend for a few years, people are still reaching out and you're still reaching out and you still have this web of connectivity that's enduring.
Well, that's great. Well, Debbie, thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate your time and your insights.
My pleasure. Thank you, Greg, for doing this project.
Sure.